y'all. Come on for the walk. Yeah, I said come on with me. Get your mats. Save your toes. If you're doing yoga, stretching out. I mean, you can always mute me and do whatever you do. You ain't got mad, get mad about what I'm talking about. You ain't gotta listen to me. Act like you're at the gym. Yeah, y'all, I'm doing all this. Now, jump on your bikes, start your treadmill. Child. I tell you. Yeah, let's get this party started. Oh. Sometime on this camera, the light goes dark. And so when I look at myself, the whole background is a little darkish. Usually I have time to correct it. I mean, it's fine on your part. Yes, great ride, and thanks for coming for on the walk. Like, comment, share, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend to come view the videos to give them encouragement to walk. You don't necessarily have to subscribe. I be seeing these creators get in trouble with all these subscribers, so I'm like, y'all want a view? I'll just take the views. Woo! I don't need that kind of heat. Look, y'all, I didn't even take off my warm-up jacket. I didn't even take off the warm-up jacket. Well, Ancestors been wearing me out. Ooh, child, vibing real hard. There is no such thing as white supremacy. White is a unicorn. All have African within. Woo, y'all. These 66 years on this penal colony, being tortured by folks that, well, I got no African in me. That's why I'm throwing all Africans in jail. You can throw us in jail, but you still got African in you. It's the history. But we know these lying, low-down, low-life European cousins have whitewashed history. So that's why the cousins is all confused. Anyhow, I'm sitting up there yesterday, and I'm feeling like Jackson 5. So as I'm sitting there listening to the ultimate Jackson 5 on YouTube, and then I cursed all the time because, you know, we're the old school. We came from the records. I can listen to one song over and over again. Also, I sung in the choir, so trust me, I can listen to a song and sing it 100 times. I just trained. And I started thinking about old Michael. And I thought about the, as they would say, the black African. That's what my Ghanaian, my daughter's Ghanaian cousin calls us, black Americans. And they said black Africans. So, Mika was a black African. But then, the German Ethiopians, the Italian Africans, I don't know whether to say specifically Ethiopians, I don't know whether to say Moors, I don't know to say the other tribes, but the two major ones that I've been able to dig up. Trust me, had this been put on me in my 20s, you couldn't get me out the bowels of those libraries in Europe. That's what you need to do. You need to send your researchers over there so you can see how we wound up on this penal colony and tell the truth. A little digging I had, and it was working at the Greenwich Library. That's where all these books that you will never see in African American community. That was Secret Society Cross and Bone book that they never want us to get our eyes on. Anyway, I was thinking about old Michael and his, what is it, Verbaligo or whatever that is. And even with that, I said, you know what? He just looked like a European cousin. Do you see what I'm talking about? He looked like one of them cousins that put the African ruling class and the black Africans in Europe on a boat and sent them to penal colonies. Now, it wasn't no easy win. And as well, the ruling African classes was shipping the European cousins to Africa. So African Americans, when you get mad and you see them running around Africa, that's they African too. They cousins. That's their gene that pulls them back like all the genes pull us back. But they done lied to us so much. Whew. DNR, y'all. DNR. Whew. So, I'm listening to that. And then I vibed to the answers. I was like, you know, you really got to break this down for me. Come on, come on. What did y'all do? It was y'all fault. Y'all were the ruling class over in Europe. African Americans started listening to classical music differently. Just like you have changed music here and around the world, you Africans have always done that. Okay? And it just didn't start with rhythm and blues. It started with violins and harps and pianos and cellos and flutes and horns. Why do you think they never want us to get hold of a musical instrument? And how when they used to catch the enslaved people beating on a drum or anything they made to the drum, even if they did the ham bone, which is that boom, 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 like chest to thigh, like that, ham bone, have you heard? Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, well, I could get you killed. I couldn't understand. Why would you take music? Y'all got it, right? Why, when the first time an enslaved person got hold of a violin, they were able to do things with it that these... Okay, I gotta stop and change that whole subject because this just came up. So I said to the ancestors, what did you do that after all this time, they are still suffering us? What did you do? Tell me. I said, you had to call my name. You had to do something. I said, half this shit I think they're doing to us, you did to them. And I got a vibe and it said, water down Africans. I was like, what? It said, they used to call them watered down Africans. they wouldn't give the mixed race children the ability or the chance to choose their African side. The Africans said, no, you watered down Africans. But they kept moving them up in power and insulting them. And moving them up in power and torturing them. I said, whew. So watered down Africans. I said, I hope that don't get my page taken down. You know these European African cousins are touchy, churchy. They churchy. And I said, yeah. I said, okay. All right. I can see them being terribly insulted. I can see here, because even here on this penal colony, with our mixed race family, a lot of them, even, let me take, for example, Michael Jackson's children. They say they're African. Their daddy was African, their family was African, yeah. They are. That's the side they pick. The danger is, that the most critical time when you need them to be the African that they say they are, they said, no, I'm European. Fuck you. But anyway, that's who. What is it, Prince and the other thing? A while back, I read somewhere they already treating the darks, the black Jacksons. That took the black Jacksons down a few pegs. Don't you see the correlations? Okay, I do. Y'all. So I said, that's what y'all call them? Y'all call them watered down Africans? Did y'all take them and put them in certain areas where they're treated not as the class of the black Africans? That everything that we've been going through for these past 600 years been because you call them watered down Africans? I can see the Ethiopians doing it. Y'all know the descendants of Jamaicans really are royalty. Yes. That was of the Brits. Of the Germans, y'all know what them German Ethiopians is up to. Whoo, child. I said, I vibed to the ancestors. I said, whew, I vibed. I was like, maybe that's why African American scholars stuff don't dig down that deep. Because when you dig down deep, You kind of understand war and how things happen and how our ancestors, prisoners of war on penal colonies around the globe by the European cousins. But what I can't get, or I need the ancestors to find some way to change us, because we're connected in a weird way to those European cousins. We're connected in a way that we are loving them as they throwing a rope around our neck. They know their cousins, and they do everything to unknow. But as I beat the vibe to the ancestors, here lies the problem. Been here for 66 years, stomped down, still getting stomped down. Whoo, child. All these lie laws, all this. I'm like, ain't nobody noticed that now when you go to Walgreens, since there has been that war between the German Ethiopians on the land of the British crowns, a war that's supported by the British crowns and the German government. And I'm in Walgreens, and now they say, do you want a charge card? And I said one thing about them Ethiopians. One thing from what I studied them. They are very, very smart. And they think everybody else is very, very dumb. I said, no, thank you. I will not support the war in the Middle East. It doesn't matter what side. Both sides got together and kicked our ancestors out of Europe and put us on penal colonies. Stay out of it. In African countries, they came in there, dominated y'all, pulled out those people that ran from England into Africa, put them on that boat to that door of no return, and put their asses on penal colony. Okay? Stay out of it. So I said, no. You can't think everybody's dumb. I'm not supporting that war for either side. As I said, we on this penal colony because of the Arabs and the European African cousins. No, I don't want your Walgreens credit card. You can eat the food you want to eat. Whoo, y'all! I'm loving y'all. Trying to save my feet and toes. I said I'm trying to save my feet and toes. Ask and you will know. Cause if I stop walking now, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. I'm walking, y'all. Trying to save my feet and toes. Yeah, I said I'm walking, y'all. Yeah. Trying to save the sugar cane. If I stop walking, y'all, the game. Yeah. DNR, y'all. DNR. Whew. Yes. Now I've been putting up synchronicity on my Facebook page. I would love to share her videos over on my channel, but I don't know how to do that. I've seen other creators share other creators' videos on their channels, but I don't know how to do that. Ralph hosts with me the Pawn Moves First podcast that I have to edit this weekend. And I want to get some of his shorts over on my page, the Pawn Moves First. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to share it. So, I can only share Syncrochete on Facebook. But if you're on YouTube, look her up, and I would, like I said, I mean, she get all the credit for everything. Just for years now, I watch her own manifestation. I watched her own manifestation. When I came across her, she was teaching Ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And manifestation. And she was in a little office somewhere in her house. And I think she had just gotten out of a bad relationship or something. And that's just the feeling I had when I first watched her. But the Ho'oponopono really helped me every day. It taught me to, it's okay to love yourself because, you know, still fighting coming out that cult. And manifestation I first got from, I just had an eye occlusion working at that daycare, and I was laying there and I was like, this is some bullshit. All this life, work, everything I'm doing, and here I'm still, I mean, I'm not a lazy person. I'm not a foolish person. How is this here? I woke up and I went out there and and I remember I had my tablet. My daughter had said come spend the night with her because I was still living in Greenwich. She was up here. And I put on my tablet, and the first thing that popped up was the audio recording of The Science of Growing Rich, Wallace D. Wattles. Of being growing rich. And that was my first thing at manifestation. Then over the years I realized I had been doing it, but I didn't know I was doing it. And I started thinking about how our activists, our philosophers, have been telling us to remove negative things, because so as you think, so your words are your power. But when you're in these cults teach you to follow them, so they tell you to take your power and throw it in trash. Now y'all know that's our European African cousins, and we know where that came from. Whew. So, Syncrochete, I watched her. Now she's married. She has a house. Her channel has grown. She's touched so many people's lives. I watched her manifestation, and I watched her work. So I support her. And I've been doing it, healing inside. And I think this post I put up there is loving. And I put on my Facebook page, I have one friend of 25 years, only one, who has allowed me to love her. And they said, oh, I said, let me get this straight because I'm not gay. When you say it to a person, You know, I really love you. They said, what do you want? What did you do? I don't got no money. No, you can't use the car. That's what you get when you look at the person. But my friend over 25 years, Catherine, ooh, I call her Sunshine, sorry. Sunshine? I said, oh man, Sunshine, I love you. I'll text it to her, and she'll send me back big hearts. And pow, that love come right back. Just what you need. And that's what Cinco Sete is talking about. That's the short that I posted on my Facebook page. Now, I received love good and well. And I blasted right back at you, but I don't be getting it. I mean, I did it for myself. And you can see, honey, and you know we're going to be roller skating more because my back feel good. So I show y'all my love self. But we call each other Sunshine. And I call her sometimes my Sunshine. And sometimes I just say, my Sunshine, I really love you. And she'll say, sure, but I really love you too, Sunshine. Bam! Right back at me. Charge. And I think when she gets that text or call from me, you know, she's charged. And that's what love does. But these cults, they teach you to give love to these pedophiles, these pimps in the pulpit, these penis baby suckers. And you just throwing it away. And I also thought of how I told y'all in one walk, I told y'all about family. You do it for yourself. I've been walking to strengthen my muscles, to get my back straight, to make sure the little antibodies that they ain't burned out when they was overdosing me on those antibiotics. I need to make sure that they get around. I love me. And that's what I walk, to protect me. And in the process, family members have also made some exercising, some eating adjustments, etc., etc. They don't tell me. I find out. I ain't looking for it. It just drops here. I'm like, oh, okay. But the intent was to heal me. And if you can look and see, oh man, sorry y'all, I forgot to move this. If y'all can look and see, if y'all can look on beyond the fact that I ain't wearing no designer clothes and I ain't got no fake earrings, I ain't got no fake nails and stuff like that. If you can look past that and see that I am shaping up, that my legs are thicker, all this weight that was up here is distributing. What ain't coming out the back is moving around. There's old videos there that y'all can look at. I'm not lying. But to wrap up this thing, see, that's why I got off it, because there's no such thing as white supremacy. There's none. All have African. What it is a bunch of ignorant people, though, who don't know their history. And I'm not taking away nothing from the fact that I know where they got it from. It had to be done to them first. And I can tell you something. Dealing with these lot, y'all. It's a lot. But knowing the history, you could understand it. But what the ruling class of Africans did not understand, I can imagine them being very cold, direct, domineering, cruel, all those things, barbaric-like. But through evolution, we learned to get along. It's like sad that the reason why we don't have universal health care here is because the European cousins don't want the darker Africans to get it. Like me, the thought that I can get free health care? Oh, never. Never. That hate of the dark-skinned Africa comes all the way from Europe for the ruling class Africans, which we are the descendants of. No, he wasn't in shacks minding our business. The European cousins wasn't after them. The European was tracking down the ruling class Africans just like the German Ethiopians hunt down and still is hunting down their persecutors after what they since 1945. They call them the Nazis. They still hunting them down. And still hunting us down. Throwing us in jail. Hanging us in trees. Calling it suicide. After all these years, that's how those European African cousins are. So they use the boogeyman. It's no white supremacy. All Africans. That's why the ancestors vowed to me to call them cousins. And if you know anything about cousins, all cousins ain't nice. And then some cousins are all nice. But the one cousins we have now, their main focus is still removing anything of African. And still removing the African. They upset they didn't do like Argentina. After Emancipation Proclamation, Argentina did mass killing of Africans. Remember, that's where Spain put their African royalty. But when that boat got there, they were prisoners of war, their kids born enslaved, etc. When it was time that their government said, come on now, come on. The descendants, they don't even know anything. We're not going to keep them enslaved. And the Argentina government said, okay. And did mass killing. And the Argentina was like, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. Everybody fled. All the Africans were fled. And they said, okay, no. We're going to have a war. We're going to have a war, but in this war, everybody shoots black Africans. Africans. And that was their war. So then that's how they killed off hundreds of thousands in this war. And the cousins, all to say, Africans were never in Europe. Africans never ruled Europe. It's the funny thing for me during this holiday, especially when we do Kwanzaa. I remember when Dr. Karenga and everybody was getting into the Kwanzaa celebration. And The German Ethiopians were saying, they just copying us. At that time, I didn't have the words to say, we're not copying you. We're all Africans. We're doing African rituals for the harvest. Instead of saying, oh yeah, y'all got Kwanzaa, okay, I'm glad y'all can hold on to the African tradition. We got our African tradition. See how we do our Kanor, or what they call it. I see how we do that, and y'all, that's y'all African tradition. Hey man, cool. But they won't say that. Well, it's African tradition, and the cult is an African cult. But, okay, I have to let the ancestors know this. Well, we white people. That's what they say. No, you're not. You're German Ethiopians. And, as the black African ruling class used to call you, watered down Africans. I lost my count, y'all. Okay? So, Dr. Karenga gave us back our African traditions that you cousins just totally took over. So that's why when Kwanzaa came up, they was like, that's ours. That's ours. And then they say they made up name. That's ours, the name, made up name. But if they would say, oh, that's what German Ethiopians do. Oh, that's an African thing. African, like I said, mano a mano, African. DNR, y'all. Squeeze your gut, tuck in your elbow, neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 for good luck. And that's why these Christians hold on to Christianity, because that is their piece of African. Africa. Why? Say it with me. Because all are African. Even the Africans, even when it went to these new made-up cults, it ain't a cult if you don't bring the African in. Who's that African? Y'all call him Jesus. Who's that cult leader? African. Y'all call him Jesus. All are African. Stop it. Stop torturing us, especially on this penal colony. Let the people have universal health care. You're not killing us because we are in you, you are in us. That's the way that shit is. Tell the truth about the history of Europe. Anywho. DNR, y'all. Jane, get me off this crazy thing where all are African, but the European cousins are African haters. They hate that thing that's in them. But Syncrochete says, love you. Love the physical self. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend, subscribe. See you next time. Thanks for coming on the walk.